Hello everyone and welcome to the Daily Prelims Practice, an initiative of Rouse IAS where we take up important MCQs from the current affairs which are published in the Delhi edition of the Hindu newspaper and the Indian Express. Questions taken for today's discussion are listed on your screen, and the time stamping on these questions along with the notes in PDF and Word format are given in the description box. So let us begin with the first question for the day. This article of the Hindu newspaper appeared in the editorial section and talks about the views of the writer with respect to Right to Information Act and how this act has been working in the last 15 to 17 years and how this act has been revised by the central government along with basic criticism and the way forward. Now, when we talk about the criticisms, way forward, challenges, issues, all this is with respect to the means examination. So, in-depth analysis of this article would be sufficient enough for you to prepare for the means examination from the perspective of RTI. But today we are going to talk about the two important provisions of Right to Information Act 2005 in the MCQ format. In 2018, UPSC has already asked a question with respect to RTE or Right to Education Act. Based on the same, we have created on the Right to Information Act. Both these are the important central legislations to provide the rights outside the fundamental rights. So the first question is, with reference to the Right to Information Act 2005, consider the following statement. The first one is, non-governmental organizations or NGOs substantially financed directly or indirectly by the central government will be called as public authority under this act. The second one is, disclosure of information which would prejudicially affect the sovereignty and the integrity of India can be exempted from public disclosure under RTI Act 2005. Now, both these statements are based on the provisions mentioned in the Act itself. And according to that Act, both the statements are correct. The answer to this question would be option C. RTI Act 2005 gives citizens the right to secure access to the information which is under the control of public authorities. However, one of the provision of the Act says that public authority will be any authority or body or an institution of self-government which is established by the Constitution, by the Parliament, by the state legislation law, or by any notification. It may also include the bodies which are owned, controlled, or substantially financed by the government, and even the non-governmental organizations which are substantially, directly or indirectly financed by the government. So first statement in that manner is correct. When it comes to the section 8 of this act, RTI provides for the exemption from the disclosure of information on the grounds of sovereignty and integrity of India, the security, strategic, scientific, or economic interest of the state, or in relation to the foreign state, or incitement of any offense. So let's say if a person would like to have a knowledge or the information that how Indian secret services in Pakistan are functioning. So that information will not be provided as it goes against the Indian sovereignty. The answer to UPSC's question is option B, that is 2 only. Because as per the RTE Act, for teaching primary classes, a candidate should have passed the teacher's eligibility test. This article of the Hindu newspaper appeared in the Text and Context matter and talks about that how Security and Exchange Board of India, that is SEBI, is going to tackle the market rumors. Now, in the past few months, it has been seen that capital market have been going through the rumors, and these rumors have been impacting the upward and the downward trend in the stock prices, which goes against the basic functioning of independence and accountability of the stock market towards the investors. Now, SEBI is a regulator to the capital market, and it has a responsibility to protect the interest of the investors in the capital market. So from that perspective, we have taken the discussion on SEBI through an MCQ. Previously, UPSC has already asked a question in 2022 with respect to Bank Board Bureau, and to your notice, this was a repeated topic. In this, the answer to the question was very simple and straightforward, that is option B. Why? Because RBI governor is not the chairman of Bank Board Bureau. If you know this small fact, you can easily come up with the answer B through the elimination method. So today we have framed this question which says that with reference to the Security and Exchange Board of India SEBI, consider the following statements. Now please understand, here you have to identify the incorrect statements. The first one is, it is a statutory body created to protect the interest of the investors in money market. In this entire statement, there are three important keywords. The first one is statutory body, the second one is to protect the interest of investors, and the third one is money market. Out of these three, the incorrect one is the money market. Security and Exchange Board of India does not interfere in the functioning of the money market. That is the responsibility of Reserve Bank of India. The second statement says that decisions of SEBI are final and binding and cannot be questioned in the court of law. This would be incorrect. Why? Because there is a special authority known by the term Securities Appellate Tribunal or SAT, to which a person can appeal the decisions taken by the Security and Exchange Board of India. And to your notice, if a person is not satisfied with the decision taken by SAT or Securities Appellate Tribunal, that person can approach to the Supreme Court of India for the further appellate power. In that manner, the second statement would be incorrect. So as far as incorrect statements are there, the answer to the question should be option C. This article of the Hindu newspaper appeared on page 12 and talks about the important National Food Distribution Program, National Food Security Act, along with the provision of minimum support price. Now, through the DPP and the DNS, we have been regularly covering the MSP and National Food Security Act. And UPSC has already asked a question on NFSA twice in the mains examination and multiple times in the prelims as well with respect to the MSP. The article says that there is a sufficient stock of wheat and rice available to the central government so as it can meet the target of providing food to the hunger and the poor people under the National Food Security Act 2013. Now, based on the same, we have created a question for today on the MSP. In 2020, UPSC has already asked a question with respect to the minimum support price, in which the correct answer was option D, that is neither of the statement were correct. Because in the case of all cereals, because all cereals are not covered under this program. Secondly, in case of the cereals and the pulses, the MSP is fixed in any state at a level to which the market price will never rise. This is not a practical activity that can be undertaken. So the answer was option D. Then comes the today's question. So consider the following statement with regarding the MSP or minimum support price. The final decision on minimum support price is taken by the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, which is headed by the Finance Minister. This statement would be incorrect because the final decision, although taken by the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, it is not headed by the Prime Minister, it is headed by the Prime Minister of India, that is Shri Narendra Modi. The second statement is that demand and supply of a commodity and the cost of production are only factor to be considered while calculating the MSP. This statement would be incorrect because there are numerous factors that are taken into consideration, which includes the demand and supply of the commodity, cost of production, market price trend, intercrop price parity, that is the price parity between, let's say, wheat and the rice, the terms of trade between agriculture and non-agriculture activities, minimum of 50% of the margin, and implications of the MSP on the consumers, because consumers are the end users of the product. So this statement would be incorrect. The third one is that procurement of all farm produce is done by government at MSP. This is an extreme word and hence should be incorrect. All farm produce is not procured by the government. For example, fruits and vegetables are not included under the MSP. So based on that, the correct statement to this question would be option D. Now we come to the MCQs from the Indian Express. The first one is with respect to the measles. Now measles outbreak has hit the city of Mumbai and has registered 13 deaths within a month. So single city has registered such a high number of deaths from the disease known as measles. Now, as far as community diseases are concerned, so UPSC has been asking the questions in that respect in the previously also. So in 2014, they've asked with respect to that which of the following disease has been eradicated or completely removed from India. The answer to this question was option B, that is smallpox has been eradicated from India. The other two have not been. The question for today is with respect to measles, consider the following statement. The first one is it is highly contagious infection disease caused by bacteria. This statement would be incorrect. Although it is a highly contagious infectious disease, but it is not caused by the bacteria. It is caused by the measles virus, which belongs to paramyxovirus family. The second is it is an airborne disease. This is a correct statement. It is an airborne disease which spread easily from one person to the next through the cough and the sneeze by the infected person. Measles is only known to occur in the humans and not in the animals. The third statement is India along with Bhutan is there yet to eliminate measles in Southeast Asian region. This statement would be incorrect. Sri Lanka is the fifth country in World Health Organization Southeast and South Asian region where measles has been eliminated. In this region, there are other countries which includes Bhutan, Maldives, Pakistan, India, and even the small countries in Southeast Asia such as Thailand are part of those nations where largest number of measles cases are being reported. India is part of the global initiative and has targeted to eliminate measles by 2020, although it is yet to achieve the targets. Now, the nation has been observing the Shahidi Divas because of the sacrifice made by Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, the ninth Sikh Guru who laid his life but denied to convert to Islam. Now, in 2013, UPSC has asked question with respect to important Bhakti saint in which one of the option was Guru Nanak and was also the correct statement to the answer. Based on the same, we have created an in-depth question on Guru Tegh Bahadur, where the first statement is, he was the first Sikh Guru taking the religious seat, means becoming the religious head, based on the hereditary right. This statement is incorrect because it was after Guru Ram Das, who was the fourth Sikh, when Guruship or the religious leader's seat became hereditary, and Guru Tegh Bahadur was the ninth Guru. So this statement is incorrect. The second is that he raised an army against the Mughals and introduced the concept of warrior saint. Yes, this is correct because his son Guru Gobind Singh took the same inspiration and raised Khalsa. So this warrior saint started during the phase of Guru Tegh Bahadur. The third statement is that he died in the Battle of Punjab fighting the Mughal ruler Aurangzeb. This statement is incorrect because he never died during the battle. He died because of the execution made by Aurangzeb because he denied the conversion to Islam. So Aurangzeb actually ordered the public execution of Tegh Bahadur in November 1675 when he denied to embrace Islam. In 1784, Gurudwara Seesganj was built on the site which is closer to the Chandni Chowk in Delhi. So based on the discussion, the answer to this question would be option B, that is 2 only. The last question for today includes a personality from medieval India. And this personality is Ahom Commander General Lachit Borphukan. So based on this personality, we have framed this question. With reference to Lachit Borphukan, consider the following statements. He was the commander of Ahom kingdom and defended against the attack of East India Company in the Assam state. The second is Battle of Sarai Ghat was fought under his leadership. The second statement is correct, the first one is wrong. Because it was not against East India Company, because East India Company was not involved in that particular area in 17th century. So the correct answer would be Mughal rulers under the leadership of Ram Singh first. So from that, the answer to the question is B. So, but we are going to leave you with this important information with respect to Lachit Borphukan. Now, Borphukan is a rank. Borphukan simply means that 5 Patra Mantris, which is the counselor in as far as Ahom kingdom is concerned. And this kind of post in the administration was created by Ahom king Pratap Singha in Assam. These Borphukans had judicial as well as executive powers, and they controlled the large Ahom kingdom area which was west of Kaliabor river. It was the period of Ahom king Pratap Singha who appointed Lashit to be the commander-in-chief of the Ahom army and fight and defend Guwahati. Lashit was the leader and the commander in the Battle of Saraighat. He fought with the Ram Singh I, who was representing the Mughal armies in this area. He defended the city of Guwahati, and because of his power, guerrilla tactics, large army negotiations, diplomatic supremacy, and intelligence, they defeated the Mughal army and protected the state of Assam back then from the Mughal intrusion. And that is the reason why November 24 is celebrated as Lashit Divas for his heroic act. That's all for today's daily prelims practice. Stay tuned for more updates.